atmosphere of the Arab neighborhoods of Jerusalem, they're not allowed to build beyond the urban cusp of 1967. For similar reasons, they're not allowed to build above 4 stories high. Makes total sense, right? 12% of the city's lands are actually allocated for Palestinian expansion. They happen to be the 12% that's already built on when you look at the blueprints. Which is why, this is the 70s. These are bylaws that are all passed in the 70s. In 1980, Israel passes the, I don't know how many of you know, we don't have a constitution. Israel doesn't have a constitution. We do have constitutional laws. In order, in 1980, Israel passes the Jerusalem Constitutional Law, saying that Jerusalem is the united, undivided, eternal capital of the Jewish people and the state of Israel forever and ever, etc., etc. What that meant for Palestinians was they receive a very unique legal status. Very different from the West Bank, very different from Palestinian citizens of 48, definitely different from Gazans and refugees. Jerusalemites have a residency status. It's similar more to a green card in the States. It means that you cannot vote for government. You have certain healthcare and academic rights, freedoms of movement. You can vote for the mayor. However, I think Jerusalemites understood very early in the game that the mayor doesn't make decisions. If the Ministry of Interior sets a demographic benchmark, it's the Prime Minister that decides whether or not there's going to be a new Palestinian neighborhood. And sure enough, there has never been a new Palestinian neighborhood in Jerusalem since the Israeli occupation. So they boycott the vote to mayor, saying don't use this as a fig leaf, and we do not want to participate in the occupiers' farce of a democracy. And so in the 1980s, as a result of the limitations on where people can live, they did what many couples do all over the world. They went out and lived in the suburbs. So Abu Dis and Azariah, Bethlehem and Ramallah grew very, very quickly. And that was all through the 80s. It got really confusing in the early 90s when Israel started building checkpoints in between the workforce in the suburbs and the central business district. And essentially, you can see the difference. The suburbs are densely populated areas, right? You can see Abu Dis and Azariah over there. Everybody moved out there. That looks like the industrial zone. That looks like the commercial zone. It is the equivalent of that area for Israelis. And the center